Hello, boys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, you guys in between, you birds, you angels, and you devils and gods. Well, let's go to the best place we can go. Let's go to where we are, biology. I have hands. These are man hands. You know why? Because biologically, I have a thing down there. It has a pecker and two things next to it, two little ballies. That makes me biologically a man. That's all it is. After that, I mean, you can design anything you want. Me personally, I call myself Archangel Michael from the stars. Stars as in David, the Star of David, as in I'm a king. These things, Carl, these things are figments of our imagination. We can call them forms, as Plato did. And you're going to learn about this in third grade. When you read Plato's Republic, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. Because we're going to talk about forms. So there's this magical world inside of our head that designs everything out there. And, well, technically it designs everything in here too. So as I relate to Archangel Michael, I have a picture of an Archangel Michael. And I have his characteristics. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm him. So that just means I'm the biggest ignorant guy of the world. But technically that's what I am. And so, it's easy to do, kids. What you can do is, if you really want to get into this, because some people tell you you're a boy but you act girly, and that's typically okay. Because I mean, I personally, when I was young, was a very gentle boy. Yeah, I'm gonna rewind that a little bit, but I was a very gentle boy. Like most people thought I was just too nice, and so it goes that way that when you behave with a characteristic more ascribed to one gender than the other, like if you're more nicer, more submissive, like you're obedient, you're submissive, like that's feminine, and that's very acceptable. If you want to skip your biology and say I am a girl, okay, that's kind of like in your head you can be like I'm a girl, but you gotta go back to biology always. See these nails? They're my nails. No one else can take them from me. The skin, no one can take it from me. Whatever my body looks like, I don't have to think about it my way. I just have to think about it like biologically. This is it. Finite, very concrete. After that, I'll tell you something. You know what? My skin looks light, and my hair, and they're soft. You know what I said? I said I'm half German because I said so. Not because I was born half German. My mom is Indian, my dad is Indian, my grandma's Indian, my grandfather's Indian. All of a sudden, yeah, definitely, dude. I'm half German. That's the thing. I can say that. People will accept it. And that's the thing. I can pull it off, kid, but you can too. You can say, I am a bird. Cool. Where's your feathers? I don't need them. I'm in a man form. You can say that. You can get away with it. It's okay. The thing is, when you cross that line into saying, I'm a girl, and now I have to physically adapt to that, then you're going into a gray area, and now there's surgeries available. This is very scary. It's never happened before. And before people didn't really think like this. Carl Jung would probably be the one to blame, as he just made it possible to cross into any threshold you wanted, and easily, which I kind of regret having read actually, because now there's no line to connect me to I'm Simran Paul, but there is. I was born in 1991. I went through my life. I have my history. No matter what I become, no matter what I want to be, no matter what I ascribe to, those laws will still stay the same. That memory, that will be the same. And same for you. Biologically, stick to biology. If you are a girl, if you're like, no matter what, dude, I'm just so feminine that I'm a girl, and I like wearing makeup and just doing the whole shebang, cool. Now you gotta grow up. Now you gotta be at least like 21, 22, 23. You gotta be a full-grown adult. You gotta justify it by being a full-grown adult. Be like, My mind did not change the whole time. I didn't think for once that I was partially a man, that even though my pieces were, that I'm a man. It happens that we can go back and forth. It happens that we can be a girl for a month straight, most feminine, submissive dude ever. And then all of a sudden we're like, hey, that girl's pretty. And you start attracting a girl. It happens. You don't have to stick to a joint. That's the beauty of this imagination that we have. Do you know that people talk about a third eye? Now, I promise you, you're not going to see an eye open here, nor is there an eye inside of my head. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to imagine a beach. And on that beach, I'm going to walk down the walk and I'm going to feel the air and I'm going to see the water coming up. I literally just used my third eye. It is called imagination. You can imagine anything. Why don't you try and imagine a dragon? Why don't you try and imagine a dragon with your skin, your fingers, your hair, your ears, and then just add a little flavor to it. Put a little diamond line across or something. Make it fancy, but make it yours. And now, every time you go back to gender, don't listen to anyone else. If you have your friends, now, I'm not talking about the teacher, the therapist, whoever the heck they are. Ignore them right now. Your friends, those few girls, those few boys, what do they see in you? Now reflect on yourself. What do you think you are? What agrees with you? What doesn't? You're going to take what agrees with you, you're going to put that in the checkbox, that's correct. Whatever doesn't agree with you, say, is there any justification for it? Because listen, people will always say something and they always want to direct you one way or another. So you have to be the judge of your life and you have to say, he said this about me, but I don't like it, it's not true. And that's the end of it. And if he says, she said this about me, and I'm not that, then that's it, you're not that. But if you in your head, if you have the man part and you say, I feel like a girl, or I am a girl, then hold on to that feeling. It's gonna pass, because you know what? Your biology is gonna kick in. And when you go back to man, then you're like, oh cool, but I don't feel comfortable like this. I don't feel comfortable like this. Tends to be when you've been in these fluctuations that you're not gonna be comfortable. That's why I'm saying, steady your rhythm, steady your rhythm, steady your rhythm. Grow up. At least 21, you're just an adult. So after 21, you actually start processing, because you're having to work, you're having to earn an income. Now you're actually processing what it is that you're really into. Because like when everything's hard, the things that you most like are the ones you're gonna go to, nothing else. So you'll easily figure out that these are my passions, I go to these, and these are not, I don't go to these. Or I don't go to them as well. And now, after 21 is the only time you're going to start working. It's going to be hard. You're going to struggle. And you're going to realize, whatever you realize. If you are a girl and you have man parts, there is a surgery available. I personally am so scared of this thing. But, hey, everyone has their own life to live. And if that's your decision, make it. But don't let anyone else tell you what you are. And even if you are a nicer person than most men, or if you're more assertive and aggressive as a girl, that's just your nature. Beautiful as it is your nature. It is beautiful. You want to honor that. You want to ascribe it to what you are. You're like, dude, I'm a nicer man, not an aggressive man. It's a thing you have to be proud of. You don't have to condemn it and say, no, it's because I'm so nice that I'm a... No, don't condemn it. Make it part of your pride. You are special. You're like newness to the world. You can bring that to the world, or you can just condemn yourself and say, I have to change. Honor yourself. Honor yourself always. And if you are so interested, kids, go to Carl Jung. He has these forums. I love them. And Plato's Republic, go to third grade art class and learn about Plato's Republic. It's like one argument over and over again. So it's a Socratic dialect. And so you're going to go through one chapter, or like one whole argument, and it'll go whoop, it'll stop. The next one, it's the same thing, just different words, the same thing, whoop, and then it stops. And then you go Diameter is the same thing. Yep, it's gonna be like that, and it's gonna stop. You know why it's doing that? In your brain, it's conditioning you. Every time you read that chapter, it conditions you into that Socratic dialect. That's the fundamentals of first principles, kid. After that, man, sky's the limit. You can read Aristotle's Metaphysics. You can read Sigmund Freud. You can read anyone you like, and they just click just like that. So God bless, kid, and judge for yourself. You're the judge of your life, no one else.